Good morning. Welcome to Fortune Cookies Tarot. We're going to do a real quick what if spread based on questions from a viewer yesterday. I'm going to do this really quickly. We'll do more videos later on tonight, but hope you enjoy this. For entertainment purposes only. Again, like, share, and subscribe if this is your first time. So this was a whole list of questions on my last what if video from Jen 007. So thanks for subscribing, Jen. I'm calling you out. I don't know if I can tag you in the video when I post it, but hopefully you'll get to see it. So questions that she had, some what ifs. What if William said yes to Meg's seduction? What if Catherine said no to marrying William? What if Diana lived? Who would William have married? And Harry, what if there was no Camilla in the picture? Would Diana and Charles' marriage have survived? So let's start with what if Catherine had said no to William? I think that's a really interesting thing to look at. So what if she had said no? What if she pulled a Chelsea Davies? So let's see, what if she had said no? And I have another deck out, double major. I don't know if I've read this for you guys. Oh, sorry, this light is annoying. Let me get rid of that. I don't know if I read the double major yet for you, but it's actually pretty cool. It's a cool deck. I like to read that with the after tarot. So what if Catherine said no? So we'll do two what if timelines. We'll do what if she said no will be her top and William on the bottom. What their timelines would have been had Catherine said no. Alternate timelines. What would have happened? So, what would have happened to Catherine? What would have happened to William? Oh, this is interesting. So, and I don't know if the mic is close enough. So, oh, you see you can see the shadow of the mic. So what we've got here, if Catherine had said no, she would have found a partnership. It would have been a quiet life, possibly with someone who she was working with, possibly with a business together. It definitely feels like there would have been some collaborative work, but it doesn't look like that would have worked out, which indicates to me that their relationship, William and Catherine's, is probably faded, because it looks like this one, the alternate reality relationship, would have crashed and burned because of the immaturity of the other party. It looks like she comes off, her energy is very stable and even keeled. So it feels like this one would have been a little bit of a swooper. He would have like swooped her off her feet and, possibly just not been mature enough to be in the relationship. It's not to say that William is like the epitome of maturity, but he definitely, is more mature than this guy. So William's alternate reality, I don't see any women in it. That's interesting. I see Queen of Swords. He would have had some experiences that were negative with, I hate to say star effers, but he would have had some star effers in there. But he would have been very high-minded, and his dedication to his role via his accident of birth is really unshakable. He really does take his position very, very seriously. And I don't know if that is by design or if that is by just his personality and his nature. But he would have felt very unfulfilled being single. I really get the sense that he would have stayed single for a long time. It would have been almost like a Prince Charles situation. Like everyone was getting nervous that there was no coupling, no heirs being produced. I get a sense of that. Again, this feels very, very faded. Their relationship feels very, very, very faded. So I don't think that there was really an option. Sometimes you have relationships where people just keep crashing together. Those of you that watch What We Do in the Shadows, Naja and Gregor. So it just feels like he would have constantly been looking for the other half of himself, and his life would not have been fulfilled or satisfactory without her. So that's our alternate reality. What if for them? So what if? Now, I don't know that Megan was trying to seduce William. I think she was trying to flirt with him. That was one of Jen 007's questions. I don't think she was trying to actually hook up with him. I think she was just being flirty because she doesn't know any other way to be charming other than that. There's everything. All of her interactions with him, I think, were tinged initially with some kind of sexuality, some kind of exotic sexuality. I think she tried to use that. That was one of her tools in her toolbox. Smart and sexy, which is a lethal combination. Ooh, I said lethal. That is definitely a lethal combination. So let's see. Alternate reality. If William had succumbed to the flirtiness. And let's also see what alternate reality if Prince Charles had succumbed to the flirtiness. So let's take a look at that. Jen 007, I hope you're enjoying this. This is all for you. So William succumbing to the flirtiness. Oh my. And Charles succumbing to the flirtiness. So William, I hate to say like that it gets him strange, but he is not inclined to go for the strange. He does not abide by the doesn't count if you're in a different zip code or area code. He knew that would cause massive disruption personally and institutionally. He knows that would have caused problems, and it would have ceased any and all good work and would have destroyed his relationship. That it just was never an option. I'm sorry, it was never an option. Not doing it. He's not going to go down that weird path. He has eyes wide open. Oh, I don't want to say eyes wide open, but he has eyes wide open. He knows what's in front of him. He is not a gullible, easily swayed guy. He's certainly not led by the D, if you know what I mean. Now, Prince Charles is a little bit easier. He's very immature when it comes to flirtiness, and he could have succumbed to it, and it could have caused some issues. There's a bit of an ego with him where he's like, oh yes, she's like totally into me, which is troubling. But all in all, it would have been devastating and very stressful. If he were to juggle variety of women, or if he were to have an extracurricular event, then it would cause him a lot of angst. And we can go further into the whole Camilla Diana triangle, but he's very stressed out, even though he has all the support of teams around him. This kind of sneaking behavior is very stressful for him. Likely because of the past experience, because that was very stressful. He doesn't want to go through that again. He doesn't want to do that again. And I just don't think that the opportunity was there for, I think William, even if the opportunity was presented on a silver platter, he still would have balked at it. I don't think that that would have been an option for him. And I think Charles had learned his lesson from the Camilla and Diana situation. So let's take a look. What if Diana had lived? Would she have approved? Let's do it this way. This is a clearer question. Would Diana have approved of Kate? Would she approved of Meghan? Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Would those marriages have happened had Diana had a say? Princess Diana. Princess Diana. I'm going to give her that. Okay. And I'm saying Kate and not Catherine. I'm trying to be respectful. One of the tarot knows, Lily, refers to her, Kate Middleton, as Catherine, which I think is totally respectful, and I'm trying to be respectful. I'm an American, so, I do. Not that you can't tell, but this is Catherine, and this is Meghan. So Catherine, she, just putting it out there, she would have approved of the long-term relationship. She would not have embraced her initially, though. She would have liked the charitable aspect of her and the dedication to the family and to charitable resources, but I think she would have interfered with their family life a little bit. I think she would have been that mother-in-law. I'm sorry. I think she would have been, coming from a noble family and, sorry, I'm grabbing my water. And Kate coming from a commoner family, I think that would have been a sticking point for her. Charity is great. However, if you are not coming from this noble tradition of charity, I think that would have been an issue for her. And I think she would have taken some offense. Eventually, I think they would have found the balance. I think it would have been a little disjointed. But I think they would have eventually found a balance there. Initially, with Meghan, she would have been impressed, but right away would have seen through the BS, if you know what I mean. She would have used her own manipulative means to work on a collaborative effort to make that not happen. She would not have liked this. Initially, she would have been like, "Oh, okay, yeah, this is a good idea. We can do this," and then she would have seen through the bullshit. I said bullshit, and she would have used her own powers to work with the collective to protect him from that, and she would have shown him that there were other ways to do it, and she would have helped Harry through the declination of that mate by the powers that be, by the institution, by citing her own relationship issues. That's how she would have helped him there. So there we go. I can't believe how fast I'm reading today. So I got to split in a few minutes, though. All right, so let's do what if there had been no Camilla? What if there had been no Camilla? Here we go. What if there had been no Camilla? What if there had been no Camilla? We're just going to do one line. It still probably wouldn't have. Well, maybe. So it still would have been rough because Charles wanted to be in the top seat. That would have been okay. Sorry about that. We had a slight interruption. Just had to take a break for a minute. So, his sense of authority and sense of ego would have gotten in the way. But they would have found a happy middle ground. I'm not saying this would have been a great romance. Not a Nicholas and Alexandra kind of romance, but it would have been better. Let's say better than it was. However, I do think that there would have been some hidden feelings, and eventually I think it wouldn't have been great. It would have been better for a while, which I think would have resulted in some better behavior on the part of one of their sons. But who knows? Maybe William would have turned out weird. Let's do that real quick. That'll be fun. So, how would William and Harry turned out if their parents stayed together? Huh. Do William up top, we'll do Harry on the bottom. Alternate timelines. What if? The what if reading. If you want to see more what if readings, comment below. I like the what if readings. What if? Whoa. What if Prince Charles and Princess Diana stayed together? How would their boys have turned out? William on the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, there we go. So William would have been a bit more spoiled, it looks like. There would have been a bit more of a party guy in here. I think he would have gotten away with a lot more things and maybe have gotten himself into some situations that were less than pristine. Looks like he would have been a bit sneakier of a person, with less of a grounded foundation. I think there would have been a little bit too much fun here. Pardon that I'm saying it, but I think he would have been given a bit more of a leash for bad behavior. Now, it looks like Harry would have been able, they would have exercised his creative side a lot more. That would have been indulged a bit more. Kind of giving him the poet prince persona here. But again, this would have led, because of personality, this would have led to, some troubling stuff. Even if this characterization of him, of the poet prince, instead his brother is getting kind of the intellectual prince, he wouldn't have been happy with the poet prince. He wouldn't have been happy with the party prince. He wants to be the intellectual prince, and he's angry that he is not even in this kind of timeline. So those are very, very interesting what ifs. So thank you again to Jen 007 for making the suggestion. And I'm going to do like a quick little spread for you. Just giving you some how do you do advice. This is for Jen 007, the gal who suggested, I'm assuming you're a gal, the gal that suggested some questions in the last what if reading. So See what messages the tarot has for you. And I didn't even bust out my other deck, so I'm sorry about that. Okay, so don't wrap yourself up in angst here, okay? You're overthinking something. You need to stop actively thinking and just kind of coast. This is the Four of Swords tells us, stop fighting even though it's an air swords are air signs. Stop fighting the current and just get on the raft and let the raft take you where it's going to. So the Judgment card brings things to light. Okay, there are things that need to be brought to light, ideas that maybe are not working and overburdening you. Collaboration and problem solving is not really an option right now because we've got this sticky wicket. We've got this one who thinks they know everything. And is getting in the way. So I'm getting the sense that this is like a work thing for you. So, if it's a work thing, step back from trying to manage a situation because that is what's actually burdening you. Eventually, whatever needs to come to light is going to come to light. So if it's recognition of work that you have done, just get on the raft and coast for a little bit and just be like, do tra la la. And whoever this person is who's interfering with the collaboration, that's probably going to come out. So I hope I'm accurate on that. So just a quick reading for you. Listen, everybody, have a great day. Like, share, and subscribe if it's your first time here. You can book private readings in the my bio section. There's a link to my scheduler. I hope all of you have a great day, and I'll be back soon.